Hello everyone. Hello. So by user request, someone requested I do a few questions, so I'm going to do one of them. And this one's a little tricky. I just saved my work that I did in trying to solve it, and I think I got a pretty good solution now, or a pretty okay one. So the first time I saw this problem, I was quite confused because it said, you should read it first, but I quickly saw this. The volume is doubled, and that's like the only thing that happens. That's the only change. The volume is doubled. So you might think, okay, the volume's doubled. What happens to the pressure? Pressure is half. Because, it's the relationship between them is PV. So if this doubles, this has to half in order for the result to, stay the same. But that's like not what's happening for a certain reason. The answer is not D. You don't just decrease pressure, it's not just cut in half. Because when you double the volume in this case, you're allowing this last third of sample to evaporate into a gas, to sort of just turn into a gas. Because now it has twice as much space, twice as much room for it to just spontaneously evaporate. Like I'm confident if it was a half that was in vapor and a half that was liquid, the other half would have evaporated, So yeah, but in this case we have 1/3 that was left, and this whole evaporates, okay? So we start off with 2/3. See, that's like the only way I can like quantify this. I'm just gonna say 2/3 of the sample, okay? Now, by doubling the volume, the pressure will decrease by half, okay? But first we must account for the fact that this is going to go, all of it's going to evaporate, okay? Since all of it's, if this makes sense, I feel it does, kind of. So I'm just saying it turns into 3, it's all of it's evaporating. Now that we've doubled the volume, this is going to decrease by half, okay? And so we have 3/6. That's like, we had 2/3, relatively. Now we have this relative number of 3/6. So it went from that to that. So what's that change? Well, I would divide 3/6 by 2/3, if that makes sense, because I'm trying to be like, hey, trying to compare one to the other. 3/6 over 2/3, and when in doubt, just doing the operation should be fruitful, because if you get a bigger number, for instance, and you were expecting a smaller number, then you probably did it opposite like. So that'll be 9/12, which equals 3/4, which is exactly what I expected, because this is 3/4. It means this is 3/4 of that, and thus the pressure decreased by 25%. And that's exactly what the answer is. That's all. Do the others a different time.